There we go. Let's use for everyone who signed on and watched me with my face right up against the screen. Happy Friday. I had on oh, I don't know what's going on here. There we go. I didn't I had on like just a casual wear today, and then I spilled something on my little pink sweater I had on this morning. So I went downstairs and I said, what else have I got to put on? And I went, I got sparkles. I figured it's Friday. And after this icky weather, cold weather, because I'm not a fan of the cold, I figured I need some sparkles today. So hopefully everybody's had a good week. Thanks for hanging out with us while we catch up on chat about cocktails and things like that, and then give away some more stuff and kind of kick the weekend off right, especially for all you wine lovers out there. Everyone say hi to Alex. Hopefully you can all see him on the screen. Hey. Well, that's the easy one to start off. Before I go make a drink and explain how the today's going to go, Alex can share with us what he's drinking.
Yeah. I'm drinking Rocca del Macy Chianti Classico 2018.
You've been really on this Italian wine thing lately, huh?
Yes, I
have. That's okay.
And I've been essentially every time I buy a Chianti, it's always a different bottle. I don't think I've had the same one twice yet, so.
I'll have to get a good screenshot of this video again for this week. So the last time we did the happy hour and I was editing the video down to put it up on the new blog, I got this really great shot of Alex finishing the bottom of his glass at the end of the happy hour. And all you see is above his chin and the glass up in the air. It's fantastic. Should have been a profile video, but you know. Okay, so while he's doing that, I'm going to tell you how this is going to go. So Alex and I are going to kind of take turns. So I'm going to make two of our cocktails that we have here at the bar for Wander Food and Wine. They're both fairly easy to do. They both kind of have a little story, or not really a story, but they're both probably maybe something you're not used to. And they both feature Crosscut products. Yay, Crosscut. Been a big fan of theirs, of course, since they opened. I had the pleasure of actually touring the place before it opened a long time ago. So of course, yes, I've been, when we opened this place, I always knew that if I ever had any cocktail, I was going to always carry their product. Besides just supporting local, it's good stuff. So I'm going to make a cocktail, and then in between stuff, Alex is going to go through the best of 2020 winners. So what we did is we actually went through all of the bottle sales that we did for 2020. So we actually kept track of every time we sold a bottle. And then I spit out some reports and did some number crunching like the nerd that I am. And I figured out all of the best of this and best selling of this, best selling that. So we actually have winners. And when I looked at the winners for each of the categories, I went, oh, and we still have them in stock. Otherwise, we'd have to give you hints on how to look them up and make it complicated. So if you saw on our Facebook story today or Instagram post today, I was explaining where to find the answers. So it's going to be on our website, located on the what we offer page. So you can go to online ordering, but it'll a little bit more complicated, and you can just sort of scroll through. The only thing is that you may have to scroll through to the category that we're going to do if you didn't make a list of it yourself, or look ahead of time and pick out what winner you want. So I'll let Alex go through and he'll do the random thing. So of course we are on Zoom as well as Facebook today, but instead of complicating things with a prize for this and a prize for that, because the timings are different, when somebody on Zoom wants to answer, they answer it into the chat box and it actually logs the time, and I save the chat until the end of the show. And then for Facebook, of course, I'm going to, at the end of the show, so we're not pausing and waiting for answers, at the end of the hour, I am going to announce what each of the winning wines was. After we finish the show, I'm going to go back onto Facebook and just sit down and finish my cocktail. And I'll go through and I'll see who answered first between the Facebook window and the chat thing, and who was first to answer correctly. If any of the categories were not answered correctly, or someone didn't get it right, or it got missed or whatever, the prize from today will go to the next one, because yes, we'll do another one, and I'll explain that to you at the end of this happy hour. So first of all, Alex had a drink, so I have to have a drink too. So I'm doing one of my favorites, and it is called a French 75. So people are always wondering what it's called. So I guess the French, when they were creating this, a bartender said it reminded him of a 75 millimeter howitzer, a gun, because it has a bit of a kick. I know it's very cheesy, but I guess it has a bit of a kick to it. So I always like it. And it has a couple of my favorite things. I love anything that has lemon in it. And I love Crosscut gin. So we're going to start off with the gin. Hang on, I get my lemon juice out of my fridge. So you can do this in a cocktail shaker. If you don't have a cocktail shaker at home, you can just even use a simple, anything that's got a tight seal on it, like a mason jar. I happen to have this. This is like a freezer jam container, and the lid screws on and it's plastic. If I could, every time I find these things, I keep buying them because they're super handy. So we're just gonna do a half an ounce of, you don't have to shake this either, depending on how cold you want it. So half ounce of the Crosscut Local Harvest Gin. And then half ounce of lemon juice. So I'm using, this is pure lemon juice, not from concentrate. You can find this Santa Cruz or organic is all we use here at the bar. So it's actually fresh squeezed lemon juice in a bottle. You can get lime juice from them as well. And it's in the health food section. So most of the independent grocers have it. You'll check your health food stores, they'll have it, but it's been really handy when we don't have to squeeze lemons all the time. And it actually tastes like fresh lemon juice, which is good. So half ounce of that. Now, I'm gonna put some ice in here. Again, you can skip this step if you don't want to do the shaker, but I want it cold. So weird setting up the cocktail station today for me. Norman's not here today. All right. So I'm going to, I don't want all the ice in here. So you can shake it as long as just to get that liquid really cold. Yeah. So it's not overly strong because of the gin, but then this is the rest of the alcohol. Now, sparkling wine. You can use champagne if you want to be authentic, but any kind of sparkling wine, as long as it's dry, will do. For cocktails, I like to keep on hand, and Alex didn't know I was grabbing some of these, the singles. So these are like little mini bottles of cava. You can get them at the checkout area, usually at the LCBOs. They're really handy for making if you have to make one cocktail, you don't want to open a whole bottle, which is great. Or you just want to have a couple glasses on your own and you don't want to go through a whole bottle. Or you're like me and you're going to spend a Sunday morning having mimosas in the hot tub. That's it. You're going to top with the sparkling wine, a few ounces. Oh, and don't do that. It's really bubbly. What a fail. Good thing I have another bottle.
Cut, retake it.
Pardon?
Cut, retake.
No, we're not cutting and retaking. This is real. It's not like this has never happened to you at the bar before, or me, except for the fact that I'm getting sparkling wine on my granite countertop here. Come on. Slowly, slowly. That's good. I'm not going to drink the whole thing anyways. I need some for the other drink. Ooh. Okay. And then the last thing, I'll give this a better clean later. Stay. Oh, why not? It's Friday. As we're going to just put a little lemon twist. So I'm using my little garnishing tool. This is a multi-garnishing tool that's got all these, it's got a standard Y peeler, and it's got a couple other things for coring and for other making. There's a whole section in the back where you can be having a mini grater. I don't know if they still carry it, but especially because you're shopping local anyways, go contact Kitchen Bits to see if they have this white multi-tool grater because it's handy. Because it actually has a metal loop on one side that makes an easy job making these long stringy things. And then you can, if you really wanted to have time with it, you can do these ahead of time and just make little curly cues. You can do it around a straw or something just to make sure it's all curled. All right, that's better. See, I turned my mess into a masterpiece. Salute. So I made mine with only like a half ounce gin or like an ounce of gin. You can go ahead and make this as strong as you want. There's recipes out there, I think from Bon Appetit, where they're calling for like 2 ounces of gin and 2 ounces of cava. But I'm being a good girl today because I still have to make another cocktail after this. And it's going to be, I do have to play it safe. I do have to go home at some point tonight. Hang out here by myself. Let me check my notes, make sure there was anything else. No, that's good. Okay, Alex, speaking of sparkling wines, let's start off with the sparkling wine category. It's all yours.
All right. Sparkling wines. Were surprisingly very popular for us. Well, I wouldn't say surprisingly, but when it came to bigger groups, it was definitely seemed to be a choice that not just one for the table, maybe two. Whether it was cava, prosecco, even champagne, we had a nice selection of them. And because of the popularity over the year that we were open, we've actually increased the amount of selection that we have, that we offer. Even some ones from some other countries that you wouldn't expect as well. We used to actually give some sparkling Brachetto or Lambrusco for dessert. We actually started carrying more bottles like that just to have so people can buy those at home as well, because it was a big favorite. Most people I gave that to with the dessert, they actually ended up liking it. So especially New Year's Eve is coming up. So we had a New Year's Eve event planned before COVID happened. It's been rescheduled to February 20th as of right now. And because of that, we had to, we decided to increase our inventory on sparkling wines, particularly champagne. So you'll notice that like we might have only had one type of champagne. Now we had like 3 or 4 different kinds. Especially like we have rosé champagnes, some nectar, some dry ones as well.
Oh, I just got the demi-secs in.
Yes, demi-sec Veuve Clicquot as well. I think she probably has that nearby.
They just came in. I actually had a special order these puppies. So demi-sec means a little bit sweet.
Yeah, so it seemed to be sparkling wine seemed to be a big hit on girls' night, especially when there was a group of ladies coming in for having a reservation together. Sparkling wine was definitely a very popular selection when we were open. With that, I'll give one hint for the number one sparkling. It is something that you can buy at the LCBO. You can buy it at
yes,
the
LCBO. You can.
Yes, you can.
Yes,
we do carry some, obviously, that you get through a distributor, not through the LCBO, but this one that was the number one, you can get at the LCBO, and that's the only hint I'll give.
All right, so all you keyboard warriors, take your guess now. Top selling sparkling wine and Wander Food wine for 2020.
Yeah, it's on the website, obviously, so you'll find it on the website.
If I had more time, I would have done like envelopes, like the Oscars or something funny. Okay, so while everybody is kind of rushing to the website on their other browser window to go and try to figure out what the answer is, I am just going to talk a little bit about the new virtual wine packages. So let's see how it started. So previous lockdown, so the previous lockdown, we had decided to do some virtual classes, and I kept them fairly inexpensive, but they were a lot of work. So it was, I would do like the 5 courses, and then I made shopping lists, and then I made cooking videos, and I did all that kind of stuff. And it turned out really great, but it was a lot of work prepping it because every single time I did it, so I always have to change the wines all the time, because with LCBO stocks would be just weird, right? So I made the point of saving all of those videos from those classes. So one of the things that I did is that we started doing last spring or summer, the at-home wine kits. So that for those who still didn't want to come out either to the bar or go out socially during the time when we were open in the spring and summer, you still had the opportunity to order these 5-course appetizer things for 6 to 8 people, and then get a wine shopping list to go with them, and then all my tasting notes and stuff. So that was, we're still selling that, which is great. but then I've been started getting a lot other inquiries for other different styles of the same thing. So some people want wine and no food. Some people want wine and food. Some people don't want to be cooking. And so there's a big mix. Some people just want to do it just themselves and their spouse maybe at home. Somebody else wants to do it with their sister, their neighbor, and somebody else all online. So there's always these little packages. And I was doing some corporate ones. So I took the best-selling ideas that I was doing over the year, and I kind of made them into 4 or 5 different ones. So there are 3 packages that include wine. One of those includes recipes and cooking videos. And then there's one that comes without wine, like I mentioned, that is just the food. You get the 5 courses with all the food stuff, the LCBO shopping list, and then tasting notes, and then you can kind of do it on your own. So those packages are all detailed down to specifics of what they include, starting price points, that kind of thing. They're all on a new brochure that can be found on our blog, and it can also be found on our events page. So you just go to wonderfoodandwine.ca, go to events, and then you'll see it there. If you click on the image for the flyer, it actually automatically pulls up a PDF of the 2-page document that you can save to your computer and look through at your leisure. Keep in mind the prices they start at, and it's because until I know which wines they are or which wines you've chosen, I can't say for sure what the price is going to be. So for example, there's one package, the one package that comes with the wines, you get all 5 wines, you get all the cooking videos, you get a full video of me doing all of the wine, like a private wine class that you can just pause and start whenever you want. And then, yeah, get all the recipes, the grocery shopping list, all that stuff. It starts at $150 because the one package that one of the packages, including the wines, is going to cost $150, but like the Tour of France is going to be probably about $200 to $225 because of the wines included. And then same thing with the rosé class, or doing a rosé all day package as well. So that one I think is about $175. So each of the ones are going to have different price points, but all you have to do is contact either Alex or I. You should all know our email addresses by now. I'm at dinat and he's at admin at. And then you can just ask us and we can run through with you what the options are. So it's just a matter of choosing a date, especially if you have a special occasion coming up in the new year once we get out of this lockdown thing. It's the best time to do it. So just check out the events website if you want to know more information. Okay, Alex, let's do the fortified and sweet category.
All right. This one will be a little different. Most fortified wines and sweet wines that we did offer at the bar.
What? Sorry, pause. I forgot to say what the prize was for the sparkling wine.
Oh, okay. Well,
just in case it motivates people. So these are all little fun things they put together. There's nothing crazy. So this one is called, I call it my lazy weekend kit. So these are hot socks that have wine and bottles and glasses and stuff all over them. They're ladies' socks, gentlemen. It's not like you're going to wear them anyways. But this is a wine holster. You put your glass of wine in it, and you can actually just hang your glass around with you and walk around the house for the weekend, hands-free. Grab your remote, do some cooking. Your glass never leaves your side. It's in a nice wine color too. It's got an adjustable strap, so you can either put it around your neck. You can have it hanging up to here, so you can kind of drink this way. Don't try that at home. But anyways, I thought it was a cute little fun thing. So I figure with everybody hanging out on cold weekends, you need one of those. So that's the sparkling wine one. And then the fortified and sweet, similar. So you're getting a black wine, I think it's called lanyard, wine lanyard. And then this is another set of socks, and this one just says, if you can read this, bring me a glass of wine. But either way, it's just something fun to hang out on the weekend when you're stuck at home and drinking your usual glass of wine, but you want to upscale a little bit. Okay, Alex, go ahead with your thing. Sorry.
All right. Fortified and sweet. Yeah, so like I was saying, we don't usually sell these by the bottle. It's normally by the glass, by 2-ounce pours. So this one will be a little bit different. But there's very few options that are available online. So your odds are a lot easier to get this one right. So there's not necessarily going to be a hint for this one. But this
like six or six bottles on the thing.
Like 6 bottles, I think, listed. So it's 1 in 6 odds.
Go get them, people. That should be an easy one anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing we didn't include on there, because we don't have, I do have full bottles, but I didn't want to put them on the website for sale right now, are a lot of the specialty cognacs and armagnacs that I brought in, even though they're not open yet. If you're interested to see what I have, because you're a big cognac person, or Armagnac person. My only concern is the only reason I didn't put them on there is that when we do reopen, I kind of want them there, right? So anyway, so that's fortified sweet. Okay. So while you're answering that or looking up on the website for it, I'm going to go on to talk about the next public virtual class. So besides those private classes, those packages I'm offering, I decided to do one virtual class now before the end of lockdown, because I am praying that this doesn't extend past that. So I tried to do, because I've been doing a lot of private ones over the last little while, and especially the last several classes I've done, you go and kind of ask at the end, like if you're going to go and do another one of these, is there a particular topic or something that you'd really like to learn about? And surprisingly, I get a lot of people asking me about Niagara, which is great because I am going to be focusing on Ontario wines for classes this spring. But I also got a lot of requests for Spain. And the very first class we were supposed to have at the beginning of this year was the Rioja class. And that's, of course, getting pushed back. I think it's in March sometime now. So I thought, let's add something a little spicy to February. So on February 10th, on the Wednesday, I'm going to do a virtual class, 3 wines from Spain. So you buy a ticket to attend the class. I'll be sending you tasting notes and all kinds of fun stuff. I'll probably have some prizes for that too, for that class, because I'm having fun with this prize thing. But this just takes one Zoom link. So if there's, it's not like one per person. So it's basically the one Zoom link for the registration. And then you get 3 wines, and I give you the list to go to the LCBO, and I chose them that anywhere in Ontario can join in. So if you have friends or family members in other areas of Ontario that you want to sign on to Zoom and drink with us, it'll be fun. And because it's on Zoom and not Facebook, I can actually see you for those of you who want to be on there. So we can all kind of toast each other and share stories about wine. And people have been to Spain, they can ask questions about Spain if they haven't been there. And I really want to talk a little bit about the culture of it. So I want it to be not just a regular wine class, but more about the culture of Spain and why it became one of my favorite countries to visit for a food and wine lover like myself. So, excuse me, that's Wednesday, February 10th. You can also find that link on the Eventbrite page. You can also find it on our events page, and it's also on our Facebook page under events. But yeah, and because it's all online, there's no ticket limit. You just, as many people want to join in, I'm okay with it. I think my Zoom account allows me to go up to 100 or something. But if I get to 100, we're doing good. If we get over 100, I will upgrade my Zoom account again. Why not, right? Okay, so that's that. So the next category, Alex, is rosé.
Yes. Rosés were slow going to start, but over time, as our selections increased and stuff, people started opening up more and more to rosés. There is a stigma around them, and people think they're sweet or they're just scared of rosés. I'm a little bit guilty of that. I will try them and stuff. I'm still not a huge fan, but there is more and more rosés that I have opened up to, and it's because there has been some really nice dry ones that I've liked, especially in Niagara too. So that's just, again, kind of what we do is just trying to get people to open up and try new things, and that's kind of the whole purpose with rosés specifically, is getting more people to learn about rosés and not be so afraid to try them.
Because they're not always sweet.
Yes.
Actually, rarely sweet, believe it or not.
So our rosé list was never overly long or in depth. So we've had some stuff swap up over time. So you'll notice it's not a very long list as well online. But I would say the one hint is it is one that we've had throughout for it's been around. Let's just say that. There's some that we sometimes, like from Niagara, we get one bottle of it. It doesn't really last as long, but some of the other ones we've brought in numerous.
We're giving them a lot of hints.
What?
All right. It is a very nice rosé. Okay, the prize for that one. This is my kitchen set. So for those of you who've been here, you know how we like golden sparkly things. So I have a set of the golden sparkly coasters, again, to upgrade your cocktail time at home. And then I got this really massive tea towel, really nice. Get what it says on it. Oh, actually wrote it on here. Oh yeah, it's like one of those big, someone's gonna correct me after. There's a special name for this material for a kitchen. It's really absorbent. It's a really nice kitchen towel anyway. So it's pretty big one, and it just says wine makes me awesome. I love it. So I thought it's not too girly, which is kind of fun. So anybody who wins this one will actually enjoy it. That's my little entertaining pack. And I'm going to go on to the next cocktail. Move this one aside. Okay, sticking with, this one is it's a new one, but it also features Crosscut product. So we're going to change glasses. So this is actually, I bought this to use for beer, and we ended up using it for this cocktail just because it kind of fit everything. I like the fact that it had a bit of a stem on it, which is a little classier than the just having a standard highball, but you can just use a standard cocktail highball glass if you wanted. Okay, so this is going to be easy. You're going to put 1.5 ounces of, we sold a lot of these actually near the end when people start going through the cocktail menu, which is great. So you're going to do 1.5 ounces of that local harvest gin. So one of the reasons I like this gin, and I've surprised, gin lovers love juniper. Juniper is the, so you will call it Christmas trees, pine trees. That's the smell and the taste that comes in from juniper. One of the reasons that I find this gin is a lot more delicate. So when you're doing these pretty cocktails that don't have a lot of heavy flavors in it, there's a lot of the other notes because there's 10 different botanicals that are used to make this gin. And so I get more of the anise, the sweet anise, a little bit of the black licorice root. So this is more of that flavor. So depending on what your flavor palette is and what you lean towards or what kind of cocktail you're making, just keep that in mind that this is not going to be that classic gin. It does have juniper in it, but it is not the overpowering in your face style. This is a lot more subdued. Pretty, we call it very pretty gin. So this is not for the faint of heart. I like to always describe this to people. This is like a mimosa overload. And my front door just opened, so guess who decided he was going to come in for cocktails after all? Thought he was going to stay at home. Yes, he's going to drink this one, right? So this is their vodka. So this is their triple grain vodka. This came in after the gin was first in their production, and then they had the vodka. We don't do a lot of vodka here because the only cocktails that we serve here at Wander all have some kind of wine in them. Ice. Don't hesitate to put lots in there. So this is like a souped up mimosa. We thought the French 75 had it there. Orange juice, I'm just using, again, I like to buy smaller bottles so I'm not wasting. So it's about 3 ounces of the orange juice. Now we're gonna have this one. It's not it. And then, I don't know if I have enough left in this, I may have to open the other bottle, which is okay. Always keep another on hand. Cabin never goes to waste. These little bottles are way too handy. I didn't make a mess that time. Aren't you proud of me, Alex?
Oh yeah.
Woo woo. I'm proud of your mom. Okay. Now, last thing is garnish. So traditionally, this is called agua de Valencia. So Valencia water. So this would be, they would drink it like water, would be the hint of it. So it's an ode to, this is a cocktail, of course, from the Valencia area in Spain. It is on the East Coast. So for those of you looking at the map, East Coast, coast to Ibiza. If you can find, traditionally it's done with fresh squeezed orange juice made from Valencia oranges. They're not always easy to find, especially up here in Northern Ontario, but if you do find them, just beautiful to squeeze the actual oranges to make the orange juice and then use a piece of the orange for garnish. So you can put it on the side, but this is a nice big wedge and I'm throwing it right in. Here you go, baby. He's gonna stay off camera, but I'm gonna say hi to Norm. Hey, Norm. No, you can't see it there. He was trying to toast you, but you can't see it there. It's gonna be one of those things at the top. It's gonna sound, oh, it's very light and easy. Oh, it's very light and easy because you have the bubbles, right, sitting at the top. And then as you're drinking it, the rest of it kicks in. So think like vodka and orange juice. right? But the gin's going to give it a little bit of a botanical kick. And then you still have the bubbles like a mimosa. So it's like a little bit of everything, but it's super refreshing. And it has the best of both worlds. Okay, Alex. Next is white wine. And the prize for this one is not made of white wine. I guess I didn't figure this out. This is a mulled wine kit. So this is the Gourmet Village mulled wine kit to make mulled wine. And the exact amount that everything you need to make mulled wine, few glasses, is going to be in this little convenient bag. Because this is mulled wine season after all. I think last week, was officially International Mulled Wine Day. And we weren't open, we would have had a special on it, but so that's it. So Alex, white wine, take it away. Alex, Norm can't guess that one.
Sorry, I'm waiting until it's a little quieter. 1 second. There, yeah, play. White wines. Number 2 seller. Red wine was obviously our biggest seller, but white wines did do really well. The number 1 thing people asked for when they came in was Pinot Grigio.
Shocker.
We only ever really on purpose kept maybe 1, 2, sometimes 3 options for Pinot Grigio lovers, just because there's so much out there. There's stuff even from the same kind of region, like in Italy, that's like similar to it, but it's not quite Pinot Grigio. It's just there's more to white wine than Pinot Grigio, and that seems to be the one that's served at most restaurants. So everyone's just more accustomed to it. So I will tell you that the hint that I'm giving you, it is our number 1 seller is not Pinot Grigio.
It's not Pinot Grigio.
It's not Pinot Grigio.
Okay, so this list is going to be a little bit longer. So that's why I made the prize a little bit bigger with the mulled wine kit. So it is. But again, he told you it's not Pinot Grigio, so you can kind of scratch those out. So just kind of just give a scroll through the list and then make sure to answer your thing in the comment section or in your chat box. And I'll go through with the winners later. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, I want to talk about what's happening with and without this whole lockdown thing. Do you want to start or anything? Are you okay with that? Okay. So we're not sure when we're going to reopen, obviously, but here's the plan. Okay. If the lockdown gets extended again, we're going to keep moving the class dates down the calendar. So all I've been doing is I'll look at my calendar when they announce a new date, and then I say, okay, what classes do I have to reschedule? And I take that Tuesday class and I move it down to the very first available Thursday in my calendar. That's what I've been doing since January, since we first started. So it's just been those moving down, moving down, moving down. So right now, I think when we open, Alex, I think we got every Tuesday and Thursday, there's going to be a class, I think, for the first 3 months. It's crazy. And then even the breakfast pairing class, which is on a Saturday morning, that just got moved to the Saturday after, like a week and a half after we get to reopen. So right now we're scheduled to reopen. If by February 19th, which was the tentative end of this lockdown, that we get the green light by February 20th, we should be able to have our 1-year anniversary New Year's Eve party as scheduled. If not, I will move it to the following week or whatever that first Saturday is. My goal for that event is I want it to be the very first thing that we do here when we reopen. It is supposed to be like starting the new year all over again, and that was the intent of it. Also because our grand opening was just after New Year's last year. I really wanted New Year's Eve to kind of be our anniversary thing. So we're going to pretend it's New Year's Eve regardless of when we open. So I even have like a cool little light up thing that says cheers for the bar, and I have all kinds of like these really massive, they're almost like photo props, right? Like champagne bottles and stuff like that, which will be fun. And we've been sold out, of course, since we launched it. But just keep following the page for that particular one, or go on to the event page itself, add yourself to the waiting list, because in case when I move the date, somebody who has tickets may have to cancel. And if they do, I will release the tickets in order of people on the waiting list. So if you haven't seen the menu, check it out on the events page, but it's everything having to do with bubbles. So I've got like making foie gras mousse, and then we're doing oysters and caviar. If Norm doesn't eat all the caviar first, he had to order some for himself. But I've got both red salmon caviar as well as 2 different styles of black caviar. One is from Canada and one is not. But there's different ones at different price points. But I thought it was just gonna be a lot of fun. just to have bubbles and kind of celebrate that we're finally starting the new year right. So hopefully keep an eye on that and join us for that one. Oh, and the only one thing I want to talk about is anyone who's planning anything special for spring or summer. Sometimes people are looking for, they want to celebrate a birthday, they want to celebrate an anniversary, they want to celebrate a graduation, they want to celebrate something. Because of the shorter time span that bars and restaurants are going to be open, anyone who has time to host private events or any spaces that are allowed to, you're going to have to book them quickly to get your dates in. So because we don't know what dates are going to be available, at least if you have an interest in hosting anything here with us, for anything that you're planning to celebrate in 2021, the sooner that you get us the dates, and at least we have your name and contact information, what you're looking for, how many people, all that kind of stuff, and we can do all the preliminary stuff, and then it's just a matter of selecting the date as it comes in, or we select a date to start off with and move it, but at least we have it locked in place, so that when we start getting inquiries again, once we reopen, those people will get returned calls first, and they'll be the first ones that we host. So just keep that in mind if you're finding anything for the new year. Okay, Alex, red wine. Can I show what the red wine price is first up?
Pardon?
Can I show what the red wine price is before you go on red wine?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I had this kicking around and I wasn't sure when to use it for a prize, but I figured, I'm sure there's people out there barbecuing and stuff right now. We have not gone out to a barbecue at all. This is called the Outdoor Edge Reflex little knife set. Oh. Sorry, don't laugh at me. Anyways, full knife set. It's got a little built-in sharpener thing for the edge on the inside the case as well. Handy little carrying case. And then I have 2 instant read thermometers. It's a set of 2. So you don't have to use one and then put the chicken one and the beef one or whatever. So they're 2 instant read thermometers, digital. So between this and your knives and then your grill, you are good to go for the rest of the season. I can't even close the case again now. Screw it, I'll do it later. Anyways, so this is my outdoor cooking set. And I figured this one would be better for all the red wine guys, because if there's any guys on there, you're probably itching about the red wine winner. So Alex, take it away.
Red wine, obviously the #1 category. Just more people, that's usually what they start drinking is red wine. We did have a lot of people though that I will say that came in not red wine drinkers, and we've turned them into liking red wine. Cote d'Aron was the big winner for that one. That was just our easiest wine. You don't like red, try this one, and then I don't like it. The red wine selection, obviously there's a lot of bottles that we have online right now, so I'll try to narrow this down in half almost. That my one hint for it is that if you look at the map behind her, it's actually on the left hand side is where the bottle's from, not the right. So Canada, USA, and South America are the 3 areas. I feel like if I give anything else more, it's going to be too much, so that's the only one I give.
So it's on this side of the map, people. Now, so this side. So now scroll through that list on your phone or whatever else you're doing on to look for it. Looking for our top selling red wine for the year. And don't forget, if nobody answers this one of these correctly, the prize is just going to go to our next one. So don't worry about it. Oh, okay. Now I want to talk about varietals. So that's why I was being very specific on answering these correctly, meaning like, don't just say Cabernet Sauvignon as an example, because, there's like 20 of them in the list. So choose the one and actually name what it is. If you have to copy and paste, if you're on a device, you can do that. But Alex figured out a way. So we only kept track of the bottle sales for our first year because we were new with this new POS system. And it has so many capabilities. And we thought, you know what, we're just trying to get open and start selling stuff and give people wine. We don't want to start learning how to play around with it. So we were mostly keeping track of wines by the bottle, and then our by the glass stuff, we were basically just putting it or pricing it based on 3, 5, and 8 ounce. That's why we always had writing on the bottles to show the price levels for them. So going forward, I think it's just like one button or something extra. Anyways, Alex figured out how to, now when you're punching it in, or the staff's punching it in, if you ordered a Pinot Grigio, it actually will say, like, open 3-ounce Pinot Grigio. So it'll actually say it on your receipt. But the other good thing is that we can start keeping track of who's drinking, like when people are drinking what wines, different times of the year. We can also, again, next year, not only can we have this contest or this like award ceremony for the top selling bottles, but we can have like top white wine overall. This way we can start including like which wines have been selling the most. So at least it's narrowing it down for us, or top red varietal, top white varietal style. But it just gives us a little bit more information so that it helps us determine what styles and what types of wine to be carrying for people who walk in here. Because right now, like, it's always been a kind of a guess. There's things that we want to show you that you probably weren't aware of, or wines that we know and love that we want to share with you. Sometimes they're wines that are overlooked at the LCBO, and we think that maybe if you had a chance to try them, that you'd be really more anxious to have them. So that was the whole idea of that. So there'll be more information going forward on that, which will be fun. If you want to collect all your receipts and see what you've been drinking over the years, you can do that too. Or maybe not. Okay, Alex, last one contest is best overall selling country. So this is not wine or anything else. So I took all of the bottle sales from everywhere, divided it by country, sorted it by country, and said, regardless of what style it was, whether it was fortified, white, sparkling, whatever. And I counted all the bottles and I said, there's one country that we sold more of than any other country. So for this one, it might be a little easier for people to answer, but I still thought it'd be fun. And thanks to our friends at Crosscut.
I wouldn't say it's too much easier. It might trick people a bit. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, well, it's true, actually.
That's why I'm not giving a hint, because I feel like
some people may get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the winner is getting a bottle of the local harvest Crosscut gin from Crosscut Distillery. And so the winner will contact me to arrange to get the bottle directly from Crosscut. But thank you very much for Crosscut for always being a big cheerleader for us. They were one of the first ones. They even brought us hand sanitizer when we first made some for here in the bar. They've always been a great partner for us. And any way that we can kind of share the love of our local distiller, we will. Okay, so make sure you get your answer in for the best-selling country. And then I had some other notes here before I closed. Oh, yes. Okay, so the video for this show, it's about 1:45. The video for this show is going to be at the end of the weekend. So this whole thing, for those of you who missed it or had to leave the room or only caught the last half, I'm always editing the video, and then it'll be uploaded to our blog by the end of the weekend. I'm also going to include the cocktail recipes for the French 75 and the Agua de Valencia. Is it good? It's good. Less smelling. So those two recipes, as well as I'll provide the link directly to the Crosscut Distillery website. And so if anyone wants to order things, they don't just have their regular bottles and stuff that you can order from them, but they have all kinds of great baskets. So if you have gift ideas or things like that, it's a really great website. And again, support local. Well, they have all kinds of cool cocktail things. I think they even have some new gold tools and stuff in like this, I believe. Chris is on here. She'll tell me that I missed something or whatever. But anyways, check out their website for that. Also, I'll also be posting stuff on a newsletter. So if you haven't signed up for a newsletter, you can do so right on the main page of our website. That's where I kind of do a synopsis of all of if there's a Facebook post, if there's a new event coming up, if there's whatever, I kind of take all of those things and put it in one newsletter, and then I send it out to everybody that way. So that's the easiest way to get all of the information about what we're doing here all at the same time. So that's kind of a really good resource for those of you, especially for those who are not, if you know somebody who's a big wine lover and they're not on social media, that's a really great way for them. My father, I think, is our #1 newsletter fan. He reads every one of them from start to finish and then sends me his comments after, which is fun. So he always tells me, oh, it's a great read. He gets excited when he gets his newsletter in. I love the fact that he's our fan. The events calendar on our website is linked directly to the Eventbrite page where we have all our events. So you don't have to go searching for them. If you go to the events calendar on our website, if I had a class that's through Eventbrite or listed through Facebook, if there is something else that we're doing, or if there's a particular day, like I'm already starting to put in dates, like we're going to do the Ontario Wine Weekend again, September long weekend. Those things are all going to be in the calendar so that you can make note of them. So you can just sort of scroll through. It's an actual, looks like an actual calendar that you just scroll month to month and look through that way. We are going to do another happy hour. So I like to do it every 2 weeks so that you don't get sick of us. And then I have enough stuff and collect more prizes for them. So we're going to do it Friday, February 12th, which is the Friday before Valentine's Day. And I thought a fitting topic would be wine and chocolate. So we'll talk a little bit about wine and chocolate, and I'll see if I can I'll grab some stuff from my our neighbors and friends next door at Huckleberry's Chocolatiers next door. And if I can wonder if I can get Denise on Zoom. I don't know if she's going to be watching this or not. But anyways, it'd be kind of fun to have Denise on Zoom talk about chocolate. So she's a fun lady, y'all. If you haven't following Huckleberry's on Instagram or whatever, she's always kind of showing what's new. And now she's working on these chocolate heart shells that you break apart with a hammer, and it's got a kit for Valentine's Day where you break it apart, and inside are truffles and stuff. So I'll see if I can come up with prizes from Huckleberry's, as well as sort of just talk about basics of wine and chocolate pairing for that Friday, which I thought was fitting. And then of course, after this, last thing is that at the end of this, which will probably be in about 5-10 minutes, we will I'll announce the winning wines, and we'll talk about them for each of the categories. So if you've missed out or you haven't, the best countries should be having in by now. And then we will, after this is concluded, I'll sit down for a second while I finish my French 75, and I'll just go through and we'll determine who answered first for each of the prizes. Okay, so, I also want to comment and say thanks for everyone who's coming in all of 2020, since we're doing bottle awards. Thanks for everyone who's come in through 2020 to buy bottles from us, obviously, to make this list. And then starting in November is when we started donating $5 from every bottle sold to the Hand Up Collective, which is a really great charity, nonprofit organization thing, a group of us that was spearheaded by our friend across the street, Carl Marcus at the Yellow Bright Room. We've all kind of joined in because we thought it was a great idea. There's a bunch of businesses, local businesses here in Sudbury, who all kind of raise money in their own way to support the Hand Up Collective, which helps with homelessness and addiction problems here in Sudbury. And right now, all of the proceeds, there's no administrative, there's no nothing, all of the proceeds of everything that's raised goes directly to the inner city home of Sudbury. So every time you buy a bottle from us, whether it is from one of the wine packages or a private event, or you buying bottles for something else for a takeout order, everything. And when we reopen bottles, prices, everything else, it's always going to go to the Hand Up Collective. So if you want more information on the Hand Up Collective, you can find them, of course, on Facebook by just look up Hand Up Collective, or I believe their website is, that's awful, handupcollective.ca, I believe. And then if you're looking for the website for Crosscut, it is crosscutdistillery.ca. So I want to give a shout out to Hand Up Collective, and thanks so much for Kyle for being the genius behind it and letting us take part. Okay, winning bottles. Alex, you have your drum roll.
My screen's shaking because of it.
It looked like you click. Okay, all right. So the first one, category one, sparkling. The #1 selling sparkling in Wonderful Wine in 2020 was La Marca Prosecco. I don't have it in front of me, but blue label at the bottle, and yes, you can get it at the LCBO. #2, the fortified and sweet category. Our #1 selling fortified or sweet wine for 2020 was Taylor Fladgate 10-year Tawny Port. Love me some port drinkers. Yay! Rosé. I think there was, I forget who it was that was asking me about rosé the other day. But our top selling rosé for all of 2020, for those of you who were here and spent time on our patio, remember it well, it was the Gran Furo rosé from Spain, also called Rosado. So it's that dark pink one. It is juicy but dry. It was a fan favorite, and yes, we've got it back. Category #4, white wine. So this is funny for those of you who know our family very well. Before Alex is laughing already. Before I did these calculations to find out what the winning
we already knew what it was. We already knew. We didn't even have to do the numbers. We knew. We didn't
have to do the numbers. However, I did deduct all the ones that Norm bought.
Yes.
So because we figured that wasn't fair.
Yes.
So it is his favorite white wine that we always have in stock. It's not his favorite wine overall, but it is the one that we always have in stock, and it's his favorite. So I deducted the ones that he bought so that it would actually be a fair comparison. So anyone who knows us will know I took that out. So the number one selling white wine here at Wonder Food Wine is Butternut Chardonnay. So yay to STEM group, because we'll be calling you because I think we're out again. Are we out again?
Yeah, we have like 6 left.
Oh, no, we have 6 left. Okay.
Maybe 6.
5. Norman just said 5.
Oh, yeah,
Everyone knows what I mean now. So there's 5 left. Okay, number one selling red wine. This one might be a tricky for you, all of you, but the number one selling red wine was from Argentina, surprisingly, and it was the Catena Vista Flores Malbec. It is not available at the LCBO. It is available through, I think it's Noble Estates.
yeah.
Yep. So anyways, it's one of our great sellers. As soon as we got it in, people tried it. They were going crazy with it.
And you can get stuff from Catena at the LCBO, like the Cab Sauv. You just can't get this Malbec at the LCBO.
Correct. You can get a Malbec from them at the LCBO.
From them, I just don't think it's this exact
Flores Malbec, that which is different. But anyways, that was our top selling bottle all year, which was great. And then our best selling overall country. This may or may not surprise wine lovers, depending on how much you dine out.
There was 2 hints. So the second hint I was going to give is it was the other most requested, like the second most requested wine comes from this area, is like the main wine from this area. Everybody came in asking for Pinot Grigio and Cab Sauv.
Or Cab Sauv. So anyways, the answer is the United States of America. US of A. Yeah. So we sold more of that from reds and whites. I was going to ask Norm, I have the notes on there. I think it was, surprisingly, number 1 was USA, which was not surprising. Number 2, I believe, was, can't believe it was Canada or Argentina. I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure it was Canada.
Yeah, so Canadian red wines actually did really well. We'd like to thank everybody for giving us a chance, because there are some
Pinot Noirs. The Pinot Noirs we brought in were big sellers. Yeah.
I mean, we had some great Niagara Reds. And then tied for 3rd place was Italy and France. So as much as everyone would probably assume that Italy and France were going to be our top sellers, they were actually tied for 3rd. So North America was the king of red wines in this place, which is pretty cool. So that was fun. So hopefully everybody hope there's enough of you. Hopefully somebody won every single prize, and if not, I will take every one of those prizes that's not one, of course, and I will move it to the next next happy hour we do on Friday, February 12th. What was I going to? Oh, I just want to say thank you again, because this is kind of a fun thing for us. Aside from Alex, because poor Alex, all I do is make him clean. Clean and reorganize wines, and we're building kind of a wine cellar downstairs, so we still have 2 more wine rack things to assemble, to put together, but we've already been stockpiling the wines for those new wine packages and organizing things so it's easier for us to find. So we're kind of going through the entire sales process of the step, from the time that somebody walks in until they leave us at the end of the night, that every single thing that we can get ready ahead of time, we will. So by the time that Premier Ford decides to make that announcement that, okay, you're good to go, we don't even have to hesitate, and we can unlock the door. So to everybody who joined us on whether Facebook or Zoom, really appreciate it. Spread the word. If someone missed out on the fun thing for the cocktails today and you want to join us next time for the wine and chocolate class, maybe I'll do that cocktail with the chocolate bitters in it. No, but nobody can find chocolate bitters.
No, fully hard.
I had to order them in. That'd be like, well, you can't have that. That'd be rude. Okay. Anyways, I always like to conclude all of my stuff now with saying stay safe, stay home, support local. All right. Thanks, peeps. Bye.